And I'm going to go into a bit of interview mode now, and I've got a
Absolutely.
few questions lined up. So, how much does it cost to build an app?
That is a great question. And there isn't really an answer for that. So basically, I mean, these days, and if I could go back in time, I could build it for like a couple grand. There's a ton of like quick, easy to use software builders that can kind of like streamline an app for you. Um, when I first started, I feel like I'm sounding old when I say that. When I started with apps,
Back
they
in my
were
day.
back in my day when apps were flying around on the off the shelves. No, I mean, you could have built an app for like, 10 to 15K like 5 years ago, 6 years ago when I first had the idea.
Yeah.
It would have been a pretty crappy app, but like that's known as an MVP, minimum viable product, that first app coming out. So I didn't go that route. I should have. And I always advise founders and startup, entrepreneurs to do that. Go with an MVP. Don't try and build everything. I tried to build everything. I brought on a really bad, I'm not trying to be rude, but like a team that was not really a team. That's kind of a couple guys thrown together that were doing like small apps for a media company. I tried to get them to build this giant app for me. I ended up spending like 40 to 50K, and ultimately just kind of threw it in the garbage at the end of everything. So we had to kind of just get a new team, rebuild everything. So I mean, apps are expensive altogether over these 6 years. We're talking like multiple different app versions. Like I had my original marketplace and then a new company with version 2, 3, 4, and then all this software. We've probably spent around like 500, 600K. So
Wow.
just kind of all together. I mean, that's whole journey. That's like including, salaries for other employees and that kind of stuff. But I mean, it's super expensive though, for sure. But you can get away with it for like 10, 15K if you really want to. Yeah.
Yeah, but I guess I mean, 10, 15K, what's the quality of the app going to be like? I mean, I guess I'm only assuming that the more money you put in is
Mhm.
the higher quality you're going to be getting out. So
So
that's all I can.
so at a certain at a certain base, like let's call it like 5K, the quality can be really high. It's just a matter of how many features you want. So the problem when I first started, especially, was that if I go back in time, I would have built like like one of the 7-minute workout apps where it's like, there's like three things it does. It does it super well, and that's all you need. You're not expecting anything else. You have a workout, there's a timer, you're done. I was trying to build like profiles and social media and like an inbox and like
Right.
the ability to DM other people and like have a social media wall. It was just stupid. Like there was no point. Even our app from 2 years ago, that was like, the final version of our marketplace app before we pivoted to this new SaaS. I was still trying to build the social feeds and the inbox, and it was like costing us thousands and thousands of dollars of our dev team and all this design hours. And it was like, ultimately we just pulled the plug on it because you don't need those features. So when you're building an app for 10 or 15K, if it does a couple things, it can be a beautiful, really easy to use app and do a great job. So it just kind of, it all really depends on how many features do you want and how complicated are those features.
Yeah, right. Okay.